Fall Guys is dead. Not really, but it is under attack. Developers Mediatonic and Epic Games are actively destroying the game that they helped build. Plagued with vaulted rounds, many players are leaving the game due to a lack of variety. But the big question is, how the hell did we even get here? Dylan here from the Sedated Cyanic YouTube channel, and let's talk about Fall Guys. Well, when Fall Guys first came on the scene in August of 2020, it was an instant success. It released for $25 on PC and PS4, and it released right in the middle of the pandemic, and it was just really tough to find a top streamer who wasn't streaming this game. I know I'm not the only one that enjoyed watching Tim the Tatman's quest for a crown. But then eventually these streamers left the game due to a lack of popularity. And so it was in 2020 that Epic Games acquired Mediatonic and the rights to Fall Guys. When the announcement happened that Epic Games would be taking over Fall Guys, there was a slew of other announcements that would be happening. First of all, they were rebooting the game, and the reason for that is because the game was going free to play. This was huge for the gaming community, as there were a lot of players who didn't play the game simply because they didn't want to pay the $25 to buy the game, or those who didn't have a PS4 with PlayStation Plus to play the game, or those who just didn't have a PS4 or PC and were unable to play the game, because they also announced that it would be released on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and on Nintendo Switch. Now, the new season of the rebooted game would be called Fall Guys Free-to-Play Season 1. So even though it's technically the 7th season of the game, it was the first season of the free-to-play version of the game, and therefore was called Season 1. Another thing that they introduced was beta testing. So before the game even was released free to play, they had a public beta that you could sign up for and test all the new rounds and test all the new mechanics for the upcoming game. And the first season was a huge success. They saw a huge uptick in playership. The rounds were so much fun. I know I enjoyed the game a lot more once it went free to play, even though I already had the game previously. There were a few hiccups, like the new crown system, the new kudos system, the whole show bucks, and all the microtransactions that come along with a free-to-play Epic Games game. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about what is actively killing Fall Guys as of this moment, as of January 2023. What is killing Fall Guys? Season 2 comes out, right? Everything is smooth sailing, everything is fine, the game's got a lot of variety, they've got a lot of good rounds, they're still beta testing. Then we get to Season 3. In my opinion, what should have been the most anticipated season of Fall Guys turned into a huge disaster. Why should it have been the most popular? Because it had SpongeBob. They released SpongeBob skins, and it was underwater themed, and they released a new sliding mechanic with the slime, so you no longer had to walk slowly on the slime. You could slide down it real fast. Mechanics that made the game, things that should have made the game so much better for the 3rd season. And then the tweet. Prior to the Season 3 release, Fall Guys made another big announcement in a Twitter thread. Beans, we've been really busy in the background going through all your feedback, so we wanted to let you know that we've been making some changes recently in order to deliver the best game possible for you all. Awesome. I'm super excited. What could they possibly be talking about? I'm super excited. We've been working on creating tools to improve our testing capabilities in order to make the game more stable. This will allow us to focus on making the best game content we can. Well, they already established a public beta, so okay, so maybe it has to do with that, even though they didn't beta test any of the new rounds for the new season. Because of this, we need to limit which rounds are available in the game on an ongoing basis, which means some have been removed. What? To limit which rounds are available in order to make the game more stable, because they've been working on creating tools to improve their testing capabilities. That doesn't explain why they have to get rid of certain rounds. That doesn't make sense. This process, which we will refer to as vaulting, will remain a part of Fall Guys for the foreseeable future. So they're just rotating rounds out on an ongoing basis for who knows how long. That's ridiculous. Season 3 will have 40 plus rounds, including brand new ones. More on the new season in a few days. So basically, what they're saying is that the new season's going to have 40 rounds. 40 rounds. That's it. There are 81 total rounds available in Fall Guys as of Season 3. 81. To say that Season 3 is only going to feature 40 of those, that's half of the available rounds that are just gone. That cuts variety of the game directly in half. More than in half, because they're getting rid of 41 rounds. That's insane. Like, every time I queue into the game, it's the same 5 or 6 maps every single time. It's ridiculous. And I'm not the only one that's fed up with this. But let's keep reading the tweet that they sent out. Going forward, we'll keep you updated as to which rounds are available and which are vaulted in our rebooted Fall Guys Owl channel. We will also be posting ongoing updates there about how we're continuing to work on the quality and performance of the game overall. Thank you so much for sticking with us. The whole team really appreciates you and all of your feedback. Much love from us all, the Fall Guys team. So that's nice. At least they have a separate Twitter account that's going to keeping us updated on which rounds are available and which rounds are not. Since Fall Guys has sent out that tweet, the Fall Guys server Owl has sent out one tweet about which rounds are available. Why? Because since Season 3 started in November, 2 months ago, they haven't unvaulted a single round. So we've been stuck playing the same rounds over and over and over and over again with no variety. Based on this tweet, it seems like the 40 rounds that are available in the game now are all that's going to be available until the new season. But according to the in-game clock, this season's not supposed to end for almost like 3 months, which means we have to go until April before a new season. Again, that's according to the in-game clock. They could realistically change that, but I really don't see that actually happening. If anything, it gets delayed like Season 2 did. So we're stuck with these rounds for that long. But why the hell am I telling you all about this in January? Well, that's because the other day, I believe it was either the 19th or the 20th, I was not playing Fall Guys that day. And I really wish I had, because for about 15 to 20 minutes, there were unvaulted rounds. Apparently all the rounds were unvaulted. I'm not sure if that's actually accurate, but a lot of the rounds that had been vaulted before were available and were part of the rotation. And fans were so stoked. Everyone at first thought this was like, surely that Fall Guys is going to make an announcement about how they're unvaulting rounds. Finally, right? Wrong. Because sure enough, on January 20th, Fall Guys Server Owl tweets out, due to an error, select vaulted rounds were temporarily playable. This has been resolved. Please see our original thread for more context on why vaulting is necessary. And then it brings us back to the original thread that Fall Guys put out before the season, back in November, that gave us no indication as to why vaulting was necessary. Now, this led to hashtag #UnvaultFallGuys trending on Twitter. It was one of the top things trending on Twitter after this incident happened. They probably saw a huge uptick in players, and nobody wants to play this game anymore because of the lack of variety. And this error has brought more attention to the lack of variety within the game and has led to more calls for hashtag #UnvaultFallGuys and hashtag #SaveFallGuys. Stentric and Caboose, two of the top Fall Guys content creators, even put their own 2 cents into this Fall Guys debacle in calling for the unvaulting of these rounds. Apparently nobody had any issues. No issues were reported with these rounds. The only issues that ever seem to truly arise actually has nothing to do with the rounds themselves, and usually has to do with special events, such as the Red Envelope event, certain special modes that they have, like Extreme Solos or Fall Ball Cup or Slime Climb Time, have issues. Not a whole lot of issues pertaining to the actual rounds themselves, and no issues pertaining to the vaulted rounds that were unvaulted for about 15 minutes. Now, the nice thing about Fall Guys is that if you go to support.fallguys.com, you can submit any sort of support requests that you want. They usually have that open to reporting bugs, but you can also use that to report the bug that these rounds need to be unvaulted. And you could put in several requests that say the exact same thing about the rounds being unvaulted. Now, I'm not telling you to do this because that's technically harassment. I'm just telling you, you could do it. And I'm not saying whether I'm going to do it or not, but I'm definitely not saying that I'm not going to do it. Also, please share the hashtag #UnvaultFallGuys and save Fall Guys. If we can get enough players to speak out and get Mediatonic's attention, maybe, just maybe, they'll change the game. Seeing as they have yet to give us a clear reason why they're vaulting rounds, the issue with unvaulting rounds, I didn't see a single person complain about bugs with the vaulted rounds that were mistakenly unvaulted. So clearly it's all just bullshit. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what round you're missing from Fall Guys. Fall Mountain. And don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like this. I love you guys. Thanks again for watching. Bye.